So back on the idea that, the industry was primitive and sort of secretive about everything, would you say that this inspired you guys to move on to traditional marketing methods, or what was it that would you would say?
Well, it was a serendipitous moment that the technology industry was starting to expand, um, and so we saw this coming. We just didn't quite know how that was going to work yet until we dove into it, and were able to learn some of what we talked about with our hospitality partners. Um, but at the time, all we had really were either mail outs, which can be quite expensive, and yellow page marketing, which is also quite expensive. So we saw a real opportunity to start to reach out more globally, I should really say regionally and nationally, for people who were wanting to move around the country and come into an area. Now they would be able to see the quality of the facility and be able to make a phone call to get the rates and such before they were to move into the area.
Yeah,
And so,
hey Larry, it's important to think about that. So the yellow pages play such a prominent role, and again, we were so primitive in our marketing back then that if you surveyed folks back around 2010 and said, where are you bringing customers from, it was pretty common for people that had a decent presence in a market to say, 60-70% of our folks drive by, they see us, we're where they shop, they're where their kids go to school, and that sort of stuff. And then the other 30 to 40% was they would find us in yellow pages. If you were to then fast forward another 5 years or so to 2015, 14, something like that, you really saw the change happen. And if you ask that same question, it then was, well, maybe 30% see us as they drive by, about 30% uh, would uh, would find us online now, and about another 30% or 20% was yellow pages. Well, then fast forward another 5 years, and you don't even hear the word yellow pages. It's been really transitional, and now what you tend to hear is it's more like the 60 to 70% are finding you online first, and then they usually are reminded that, oh, I do drive by you and see you often as well. Of course, that's if you have a location out on a prominent road, but it certainly opened the door up for operators to develop behind a shopping center or down the street or even an industrial park, because now there's a forum for them to compete online, and it's something that we were able to expand upon and really help out a number of operators that had locations such as that.
so that really got us to the point of the desktop website as they were kind of originally construed. And from there, we knew that we wanted to bring mobile websites as part of and self-storage. And at the time, they didn't exist other than to look at a full-size website on a smartphone screen, which, as we all know, that doesn't work that well. And so,
And you know what?
just
It
a,
was amazing. It was amazing to me back in 2010, 2011, or what you have, how few people that would come by our booths even had just a website in period. They would rely maybe on a Google Places ad, if that. I mean, many didn't even have a website of any sort.
mhm. So once we were able to accomplish that, you can imagine their excitement. Some of these mom and pop uh, owners, and now they also have an opportunity to have a mobile website, which is extremely new, and knowing that everybody's running around with this opportunity to find them in their pocket. And so with those mobile websites, we were able to then start to see into the future a little bit about what it was capable of, and that was really the genesis of Click and Store, to be able to do some online movements.
So that was our first kind of breakthrough, and that happened literally within about 6 months. That people people and companies had mobile. They had mobile, but it was a separate URL. You would typically have a, Joe's Self Storage Mobi or an m.joestorage.com. But you would literally go to one or the other, either to their primary desktop version of their website or to this mobile. So we were able, again, with the technologies of our friends in the hospitality industry, who were doing this already for a number of years, again, probably 5 to 7 years, and that was having an auto redirect in the background. So it would recognize, that search would be recognized as coming from a mobile device or a desktop, and obviously what sort of operating system you had and so forth. And it would auto redirect it to the proper format, which was that was our big first in the industry.
Yeah, that was what 2010 or so, late 2010, early 2011, and then the Click and Store came a few months after that, as you described. Um,
And in terms of technology, I mentioned yellow pages. And so what we've also seen, and we could obviously foresee that, was the exchange of yellow page expense dollars for online. And that was sort of our sales pitch along the way as well, is pretty soon um, you knew Yellow Pages was going away, so we were simply saying, look, just utilize those dollars. Let us help you by reallocating those dollars to the online side. And again, back to Larry's point earlier on, and we're here to show you exactly where those dollars are going to be used. How much is on hosting? How much is on maintaining your website? Um, and again, if there was any pay-per-click and or search engine optimization being done on that website.